Yenge family master here. Bote. Um, the word of the Most High is forever and ever, even if heaven and earth passes. Now, brothers and sisters, uh, that what the most of the people do not know. There is an apocalypse of Abraham. There was an apocalypse of Adam. Was an apocalypse of Enoch, yeah, and many other apocalypses, right? Which means that what people prefer to say, to know, and say, this is the end of the world, yeah, it might be for the end of the world for, you know, for a period of time, which means there will be coming some other more end of the world. Like in the time of Joseph, there was another end of the world, right? Yeah. That's why you see the Tokwis say, oh, it was the end of the world for them when Simon Toko died and the fights that he had and stuff like that. That's how it is. Now, which means we are entering into another timeline or another period. Okay, now we get this part. Now, um, that what we have to know is, brothers and sisters, when this Bantu thing started, um, you know, I was a Christian. And when I was a Christian, I believed totally in everything what the Christian did. And today we still have pastors and we have, you know, Ngunzas or Bantus, because Bantus do not believe on that what pastors say. um, when you see the Hebrew movement, yeah, or and compared to the Jewish movement or the Christian movement or the Bantu movement, you will find some differences, and the differences are deep. Yeah, that's why you will see people in the Americas, the Hebrew Israelites, saying very clear, we do not believe in Africa. We don't believe that we came from there, or that you know Kikongo or the uh, so-called African languages are Hebraic, or then they start mixing up things like Ethiopia must be Hebrew. Then they will go and move forward and mixing up things like they want, because they just want, if they want to be a part of Africa, then they want to have something to do with the Middle East or with the light skinned people in Africa or something else. But no, this crispy back niggers, no, we don't have anything to do with them. Let us have something to do with the Spanish, with the people from the Caribbeans, or let us even have something to do with the Europeans or whatever. We came from Spain or whatever, where, but we have nothing to do with Africa. And that's why you will not hear from Pacific people talking about Africa, even if Africa pushes them. Africa is the root. Yeah, Africa is the root for everything. If it comes to food, if it comes to merchandises, or any kind of iron, or even the air that we breathe, the waters that we drink. So the root, like it's written in the Romans 11, it's holding the branches, right? And uh, today, many people will say that they already understood everything. It's like a child, if he's grown up and, um, you know, let's say a child is learning from a master, right? And he learns things, and he's young and courageous and strong, and now he thinks he can beat the master. You know, the thing is that the master will always have more than 100 things that he won't show the child, because it's like, hey, come on, what's going on? Why should I show him my tricks? Because I can show him that, what I have to show him, and if the time comes, he will master it so that he can continue and grow and learn from there. But that problem that we have is, if you really understood the understand the scriptures, when Judah have sold his own people, And this was an abomination that never happened before in heavens, and this is that what we are paying since even in these days. Many people do not understand that Judah has sold his own, and for the heavens it was like, what are you doing? Um, um, Now look forward to restore that, or to bring the knowledge or the things back as it was before. And for this restoration, it doesn't need head knowledge. We need more than that. um, when you look closer, you will see that the Most High is very clear. And if He says that my words will stay forever, He's not talking about mixing up stuff, like we think. People speaking Jiddisch. Middle East is now our home. The Americas is our home. Oh no, we have nothing to do with the Holy Land, whatever. All this kind of things shows us that we have something to do with Christians or Christian pastors that just want to accept to be Yiddish or to be Christians or something like that. It's just like a mixture between Yiddish and Christian and all these kind of things, and putting there and how can I say, the Jewish, yeah, to be Jewish, what we never were and we never will be. You see, which means we have still some doctrines outside there, and that will break, it will fall, because if we start talking about for example, if we start talking about rituals, spirituality rituals, you're gonna see that Black America, where you will find, I will say it clear, yeah, 80% of our people in witchcraft, or in Southern America, or in Brazil, or elsewhere in the world, people are in witchcraft, which needs spirituality again to resolve that problem. There is a passive witchcraft and there is witchcraft that people really do. Yeah, not everyone is a witch, but there is a passive one where people are in witchcraft because in their bloodline or whatever, something happens or people did whatever for protection, for money, for wealth, or maybe some royalty bloodline is running into their veins. Other things. And it's not only witchcraft, it's even about knowing yourself, awakening the God in you, so that you can do the true work that you are supposed to do in this world. This can only happen through the awakening. Yeah. And this can only happen, yeah, according to James 5, yeah, if you're going through into a ritual. And the America was never ready for that. How did that all start? I will explain. They started with, oh yeah, Africa has nothing to do with us, blah blah. Africa, they're Hamites, and then they start to see evidences that Jewish from Luango, Jewish from the kingdom of Makoko, up to the Zulus. They saw some people in the western part of Africa. Then they started to talk about the western part of Africa only, like Nigeria, Ghana. And these are the only Jews, blah blah. Even if the most of the people from that side that went there to the Benin Kingdom and stuff like that, many of them are more Semitic than Bantus, and some of them are also Bantus, which came with the mixture and the kings of there and the migration. So because we know you can go to those areas, they will tell you exactly. Hey, we had fights here. You can go to the Dahomey story and everything. We had fights here with the northerners or the westerners, yeah, Senegal and all this. You know, we don't mind to say that these are biblical areas. Yeah, this is true, and we don't want to separate. And we know that all of Africa is not only our people, even the Ethiopian or whatever if we one day gonna come together. But in effect, we are not. We see what the Rwandans doing. We know even in Kenya, separated people, Uganda. So it's everywhere in Africa. There's separations and there's tribalism. But that's not the case. That's not the problem here. The problem that we have is bigger because the diaspora that should normally represent us and say, "Hey, look, we understood now who is, yeah, and we know now how to appreciate and bring two sticks together." And they still don't know anything about spirituality or do not give the value on spirituality, even if they know the truth. They do not want to walk with it. They just want to be Jewish. They just want to replace the white man and say that is our place and this is who we are. But the white man is Jew. He is a true Jew. Yeah, it's not another Jew as the white man himself. Because the white man is the Jew, the name never came from us. The letter J is never existed in the Kikongo and in the really Bantu languages, some of them. J doesn't exist. Jew, where does this come from? Hebrew, and all the names, Matthew and Lucas, all the names and many stories are good, but we have to rewatch it and to see where all those things really happen, and you know uh, where we can see to divide the truth and the lie. Now, where do we see some separations? Like I told you guys, we saw an awakening. That what we saw is people people talking about uh, people talking about an awakening, and in this awakening, sorry, I have so many calls. In this awakening, they are like choosing their own, saying to bringing their own 12 track chart, bringing their own 12 track chart, and people that wants to learn from there and saying, hey, okay, we know now the 12 track chart is ours and we are Jewish and whatever, we want to replace them, and others entered into the bunch of truth, and they learn from the spirituality, they learn from the locations, they learn from what did they learn? They learned from uh, uh,